Hi everyone, welcome back to FSX. Here we are with the beautiful B-17G Mary Alice as we reenact one of the very common journeys during World War II from North America via the North Atlantic crossing to the United Kingdom. So last time we landed here in WWII West 1, which is Bravo Golf Bravo Whiskey. Today we'll obviously be starting our journey from WWII West, and we'll be heading towards Reykjavik in Iceland, which is Bravo Indigo Romeo Kilo. With that done, let's hop into the cockpit. Fantastic. I've cracked the windows so we don't steam up. You can see the bit of the condensation around the edges of the windows already. Some of you may know I had some issues with the FSX and it crashed and became corrupted. So what I've done, I've reinstalled my FSX into the Steam version. So I'm not sure how this is going to run. If it's going to have problems along the way, we shall have to find out. Also, there are some programs that don't work in Steam, like FS Recorder. I can't get that to work, so external shots may be limited until I can get that to work. I've got most of the things working, but there are a few gremlins that will stopping some of the stuff working. But hopefully that won't deter us and slow us down too much as we make our journey. So anyway, let's crack on. Let's stop waffling on. Good news is that, as you can see, it's kept the hours we've done on the aircraft. Okay, it's not perfect because it's 11.6 hours on the airframe and just under 7 hours on each of the engines, which is a bit weird. Not sure why that is, but that's the thing. But it's not going to be the brand new overhauled aircraft, which I feared we would have to do. Somebody just dropped a bag of spanners by the sounds of it. I've topped up the fuel, I've topped up the oil, I've topped up the glycos, I've topped up the hydraulic fluid and the oxygen. That's more than enough fuel that we'll ever possibly need. But let's crack on and get this journey underway. So, let's go through our checklist. Weights and fuels done. Parking brake done. Flaps and gears neutral. 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 Perfect. Freedom of controls. Okay. And we need to do that one. So full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Perfect. Check each battery with the inverter on. Alright, let me just hop down here. I've got the gauge there, so let me just sit up a bit so you can actually see it. Switch the inverter on. Why are these batteries on? That's a bit silly. Whoops, hang on. Let me just switch those batteries. I want to do battery 1 really. Battery 1 is not too bad. Battery 2 is just as good. So the batteries aren't in bad shape actually. But I don't want to put any strain on them at all, so we're going to start the APU as we usually do. And then when that comes on, you should see that spike up to 30 volts. Any second?
Captain, electrics are coming online.
Brilliant, okay. Next would be the hydraulics, won't they? So batteries, inverter on, APU if necessary. Check the hydraulic pressure. Hydraulic pressure, which is there, it's currently reading 0, so let's go and give it a little bit of a manual pump. Okay. That should be enough to give us a little bit of okay. So I'm going to switch the pump on now. So if you're on headphones, just a little bit of warning. You may want to turn it down, or you may have bleeding eardrums after a second. Okay? So I'm going to switch on the pump now. You can see the strain that's had on the volts. Right, coming up to 800, which is the green. Oil pressure light goes out. brilliant. Okay, so hydraulic pressure, good. Right. Cut-off switches on. Fuel cut-off switches. Done. Cut-off switches. Carb cleaner. On. Well, they'll go amber in a few seconds. We'll just wait for that. Cabin heater off or cold. We'll set that to cold so we don't to get condensation in here. Master ignition on. Intercoolers set to cold. Have the filters, you can see it's gone amber. Filters are back online, fantastic. Magnetos set to both. Fuel boost pressure, we'll do engine 3 as it always recommends. We'll open the cowl flaps. Nice. Then we'll lock the cowl flap. Turbo dial set to 0, yes it is. Throttle's cracked. Yep, all throttle. They're dancing a little bit, aren't they? Let's try and... no, they're dancing a touch. That's fine. Propeller set to high, yes it is. Fire extinguisher set to engine 3, which I have already done. And we do the startup sequence. Sweet. So let's make sure we've got that set to engine 3, which we have. Let's get some prime in there. Okay, that should be okay. So engine 3, we'll put start. That should be whirring up now.
Clear prop.
Meshing. No, okay. That didn't work. What didn't we do? We didn't put the fuel to auto rich. I missed that step out. Okay, that's fine. Let's give it a couple of primes. I must have missed a step. Right, put the starter back on.
Clear prop.
Meshing.
Engine 3
Aspect,
is
so.
starting.
Looks like my
Oil pressure is coming
cowl
up.
flaps are closed though. Yes, why am I open cowl flaps? Lock my cowl flaps. Okay, engine 3 is online. Let's open up the cowl flaps on engine 1. Can't quite see it because of that pillar. Lock cowl flaps. I must have accidentally hit that one when I did the fuel. Okay, engine 1 fuel boost on. We'll set the fire extinguisher to engine 1. Come down here and we'll select engine 1. Give it a couple of boosts of prime. Throttle has been cracked. Let's switch starter on.
Clear prop.
Meshing. You remember engine 1 was the one we had problems starting last
Engine
time.
1 starting.
But she started.
Oil pressure is rising.
She didn't want to start, did she? She was thinking about it. That's cool though. So we'll bring fuel mixture for engine 2 to auto rich. Open up the cowl flaps on engine 2, which you can just about see down there. There you go, sweet. Let's lock the cowl flaps. Switch the fire extinguisher to engine 2. Come down here. We'll put some prime into engine 2. Now I have been reading somewhere that they used to put up to 4 shots of prime into these engines. I don't know if it's because our engines are in good nick, but we only need to do 2 shots, and that seems to be enough. fire extinguisher. Right, engine 2, start the old flywheel going.
Clear prop.
Meshing. Oops, meshing.
Captain, we need our engine fuel booster on for the engine to start.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Whoops daisy. Let's switch that off so it's not spinning. I'm surprised I was able to prime the engine without the booster pump on though. That makes no sense. Okay, well that's fine. You see, it's been a while and we're missing these steps because we're trying to skip on quickly. I want to be able to do this fully without the process sheets.
Clear prop.
Meshing. There she
Engine 2
comes.
is starting.
Right,
Oil pressure
we want to
is
be
rising.
switching the generators on. Okay, those are running stable now. Let's finally, engine 4, let's auto-rich the fuel, open the cowl flaps, fuel booster pump on, fire extinguisher to engine number 4, stick a couple of shots of boost primer into engine 4, lock the cowl flap, engine 4, start the motor,
Clear prop.
meshing.
Engine 4 is starting up.
Excellent. Okay, let's hop over to the captain's seat.
Oil pressure is coming up.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to let the co-pilot now
Aye,
manage the
Captain.
engines. Brilliant. So we can now switch the APU off.
I'm on it, Captain.
We'll put the radios on. Put the headphones on as well, which will quieten everything down. There we go. So we'll just sit here and warm up a little bit. You can see him tweaking with the cowl flaps, which is grand. Now we'll just have a look here. So turn the APU off once all the engines are started, that's fine. Then we go up to the takeoff, where we cowl flaps to a third. We'll let the co-pilot handle that. Lock tail wheel and trim. So currently tail wheel lock is off, which is perfect. So we'll be able to taxi okay. Right, let's get some. Let's get rid of this screen. Some permission to take off.
Radio, Boeing, Foxtrot, Bravo, Delta, Romeo, Sierra, IFR, Reykjavik, ready to cut. Boeing, Foxtrot, Bravo, Delta, Romeo, Sierra, is cleared to Reykjavik Airport at file. Climb and maintain 13,000. Departure frequency is 121.3, Mach 1466.
Okay, so we'll be flying up to 13,000 off out of the airport. That's fine. Read that one back. What we'll do, we'll stick that over there. We'll use the modern. I like using the modern autopilot. Oops, we can only go up to 20,000. Come back down to. Did you say 13? Okay, grand. Right, so let's start our taxi and take off. We'll get into position and ready for takeoff sequence. What we're going to have to do is get onto the runway and then take a turn when we get to the end of it. Actually, I think we should have gone down that gate, but never mind.
and ready to go.
Excellent. Everything is looking good. Yeah, we've got a little spin round spot up here, which is pretty cool. So we'll just spin around and line ourselves back up with the runway. Let's line this up this time. We had a nasty takeoff last time, didn't we? Right. Down the brakes. Let's lock the tail wheel. Okay, light's gone out. Okay, whoa. Hold it on the brakes there for a second. Let's go through our takeoff. Okay, tail wheel locked. Oil temperature minimum 40. Yes, we just had the confirmation we're okay. Let's bring up the turbo dials to 8. Throttle slowly open on full back. If runway, turbo throttle back first. When clear of the runway, rise landing gear. Okay, that sounds cool. Right, brakes off, let's slowly start the roll. Straighten her out a little bit. She's pulling a little bit to the left.
50.
Okay, tails up.
Rotate.
Rotate.
120. 130. 140.
Landing gear up. I love how when you take off, the landing gear light flashes to remind you that you need to take off. Beautiful landscape, and the weather's not too bad either, which is quite nice.
The tail wheel is up.
Tail wheels up.
Main wheels are up.
Okay, landing gear is up. Fantastic. Right, so we're coming up to 1,000 feet now. So far so good. Let's just have a look. Right, so if we bring up our the autopilot, 13,000, autopilot on, and we'll stick altitude on. Cool. So we'll start climbing up now. Things are looking good. Let's have a quick look at what the weather's going to be. Let's switch on our little weather radar. We're going to have to do a bank as well, which will be fine. Let's start our turn, shall we? So we'll be wanting to go east, of course. Did they give us a heading? No, they haven't. Let's tune into the centre to get our directions. turn left, 90. I thought it was going to be, yeah, okay, so it's 90, which is east. We'll do that, acknowledge. Let's set the heading. So we're going to be cruising at about 20,000 feet today. We're just going to do a left turn to go east, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. Okay, wants me to go to 060, which is fine. 060, we're going that way anyway. Okay, so we'll continue our climb, and let's just see how we're doing in the old. Reduce manifold pressure with the turbo dial. Reduce RPM as required. Adjust cowl flaps. Adjust the trim as required. Carb cleaner off over 8,000 feet. He wants to expedite our turn. Well, we're in a vintage aircraft. We'll turn as we see fit. Thanks. Okay, so we're doing okay for now. It's a very cold sea below us, but we've got a nice warm. I can't look up. We've got a nice warm sun in front of us. Just coming up to 4,000 feet now. Doing our slow turn. Cool. Goodbye, Louis West 1. Now, I do know. He's got something on the radio. I'm not going to listen to that because it could be some copyright music. It probably isn't, but we'll leave that be. Yeah, well, I'm gonna. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? One of the things I've noticed about the Steam version of FSX, Dovetail have certainly tweaked it, and it performs a lot better than. It wants me to expedite my turn, but we're doing okay. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I might increase my climb bit a bit though. We're turning. Stop worrying about it, boys. So yeah, the Steam version is performing much better than, well, not much better, but it seems to be a lot smoother and a lot more efficient than the standalone box version. But I say not all of my add-ons are compatible with it, which isn't the best. Well, I say compatible. They are compatible, but they're having problems trying to get everything working. So we'll see how that goes. So while we are sitting here, we've got to actually have a look, see what I haven't done. We'll put our landing lights on, landing gear, pivot. No, that's okay. That's fine. Beacon strobe. Put our beacon strobe on, should we? Should have done that. Right, so I will leave you here now. We'll do some lovely scenic shots as we climb to our cruise altitude, and I'll see you in a little while if anything interesting or worthy of note happens. If not, I will see you for approach, descent, approach and landing. So I'll see you in a little while. Hi everyone, welcome back. As you see, we are descending. We're descending quite rapidly. I think I'll take my headphones off. Have I? Yeah, I have. There we go. Not worried about the local radio reception. We've got to worry about the things. I've got the crew away from the gun turrets now, so we can concentrate on landing. We're turning to 0250 as a heading, and we're descending to 6,000 feet. We've just come under 10,000 feet now. So let us. Oh God, they're still talking to us. So let's turn on our landing lights. Acknowledge the handoff to Reykjavik approach. Hello, Reykjavik. Coming up to 9,000 now. We're coming down to 9,000, should I say? Oh, it's a bit windy. Being buffeted a bit. Now I expect, if we have a look at this, let's go back to the notes. So we're going to go set everything back to auto-rich for the fuel mixture. Air filter is going to be on, that's at 8,000 feet. We're coming up to 8,000 feet now, so we're going to switch from ram air to the air filters. Turbo, we're going to put it back up to 8. Landing gear, brake check, okay, yeah, that all makes sense. Hydraulic pressure, 6 to 800. It's currently running with the pump on at about 900, which is fine. We're now coming under 8,000, so we'll switch over. Brilliant. We'll put these on to auto-rich fuel mixture for the 4 engines. And we'll dial the turbo up to 8. Cool. Check carb temperature. It's obviously looking a little bit warm, is it? But this the co-pilot's handling that side of it, so that's okay. Just gonna ease back down a bit because obviously putting the turbos up has raised our airspeed a little bit. Actually, let's put the turbos down, but back down to 4 for now. We don't need them up there until we get on our approach. Right, it's been a bit cold up here at 20,000 feet. Let's have a quick look now. Cabin is warm, so we'll put the heater down. We've also got the heated suits on, so I'm going to switch the heated suit off. And for the co-pilot as well. Head right 250, descend and maintain 3,100 feet. We are heading 250. Okay, let's descend to 310. We are heading to 250. Now descending to 3100 altitude. It's gone through 6,000 feet. Okay, I can see the airfield over there to our 2 o'clock. Here we go. We're 11 miles at your 1 o'clock. Turn right, heading 315. Turn right, heading 345. So that's 33, 345. There we go. Speed 46, 345. Okay, so the airfield is over there, as you can see. Going to start bringing our speed down now. So we want to be doing around 140, 150. I've switched the turbo dial back up to 8 just for toga reasons, and obviously we already set the fuel to rich. Okay, now pointing to the airport. Roger. Okay, so we're going to land on this one, I'm guessing. It's not the best of approaches they're giving us. We're going to do that kind of flashy flick that we've seen them do on B-17, the Mighty 8, which is a bit weird. Anyway, we want to descend to 2,000 feet. We want to do that reasonably quickly. I'll probably want to do... No, I don't do it too quickly. Let's drop it to 1,400 feet a second. That's fine. A minute, sorry. Yep. Report runway in sight. Right. Let's pop the landing gear down. Actually going to switch that off. Okay, we'll I did hear your last transmission, but you've left me really close to the runway.
The tail wheel is down.
Okay, I'm going to drop a bit of flap.
Main wheels are down and locked.
Okay, coming to 1,000 feet now. So it's a steep approach. They love giving us steep approaches, don't they? Going a bit quick, actually. Try and bleed off some speed. Nah, we're never going to do this. I'm going to have to go around. That's just too... They guided us in terribly there. That's awful. That was awful. We had not a chance of that. So I'm going to go around again and control the speed and the height. Because yeah, that was a terrible approach they gave us. Absolutely awful. Let's put the flaps up again. So we'll go around again and I'll see you for second approach. Okay, there's the airport over there. Let's landing gear down. Easing off the power. We're going to descend a bit and we want to say about 150 to 140 so we can start to use some of the flaps. Excellent.
Main wheels are down and locked.
Bit of flap on. There we go. We can use our height to keep our speed up. You can't come in too shallow because obviously the high-rise buildings, but yeah. Bringing our speed down to 160. And a bit more flap. Okay, if we hold about 130, that'd be ideal. We'll probably need to just bring the nose up a touch. Bring the nose up and start to lift the flap.
100. Flaps are confirmed up, Cap.
Whoa. And we're coming to a run off the end of the runway. Well, that wasn't perfect. But we're down. We're in relatively one piece. That was a short runway for us, but we managed it. Okay, we're just going to spin around now. Whoop.
Captain, we should make wider turns. Pivoting is not good for the tires.
Yeah, I know, but we needed to get around. I think engine 2 may have run out of fuel. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, engine 2 is out of fuel. Wow, we timed that well. We had to land then. Ooh, dramas. Dramas on board. Right, let's crack the window. Get some fresh air in here. Right, we'll put the old turbo down. We don't need that anymore. Welcome to Reykjavik, everyone. This tail wheel unlocked, so we can actually taxi, and we're away. Right, we're just gonna park over here. Wow, look at that. So we could probably feather number 2. Was that the fire extinguisher? That's the feather button. So that should have gone feathered now. Has it gone feathered? It doesn't look particularly feathered. Maybe it is. Okay, we're just going to bring it up to the maintenance hangar just here on our left. So we can refuel, make sure we haven't done any damage with that kind of landing. And we've just done some pivoting on the old tyres at the end because we run off the runway slightly. Yeah, not the most flawless flight ever, but it has been a while since we've flown, so that's probably to be expected. Right, throttle's idling. Let's do the old fuel cut off. Which is of course all the way forward. Beautiful. So there we are. We have arrived at Reykjavik. Bravo, Indigo, Romeo, Kilo. Next time we'll be leaving Reykjavik for the comforts of Scottish hospitality as we fly to Prestwick Airport. And from there we will be off from Prestwick down to Duxford. So we've got 2 hops left until we make it to our final destination in Duxford. So I hope to see you then. And by that time, hopefully, we'll be able to nail our skills. I'm just going to go through the switching everything off now. I won't bore you with those details. So it's basically the startup in reverse. So we'll switch all the pressure pumps off, switch the fuel cutoffs on, and yeah, we're all good to shut down. Well, just actually before we go, let's just check the maintenance hangar. So we've done 15, almost 16 hours of flight. Engine 3 has flown slightly longer than the other 3, obviously because we probably start engine 3 first each time. Keep an eye on the hydraulic pump, it's getting old, so we're starting to see a little bit of wear creep into the aircraft. The engines look spectacularly fine, but the hydraulic pump does seem to be suffering. I think maybe we should actually probably switch it off a bit more. We've got the auto pump on, so it keeps the pressure up. Maybe we need to maybe think a little bit more about that. Who knows? But we'll leave that for next time. As I say, we'll get this refueled, oil topped up, and any issues with the tyres especially, which doesn't appear to be anything, seen to. And as I said, we'll be heading from Reykjavik over to Prestwick in Scotland. And we'll finally be touching down on UK soil. So yeah, until then, I hope you enjoyed this. Thoughts and comments in the section below, as always. And join me next time for the penultimate hop on our journey through the North Atlantic down to Duxford in Cambridgeshire. So I hope to see you on the next part of our journey.